Hey everyone, welcome back. It feels really good to have you here again. If you're new to this channel, this is the place where we help you improve your English through real conversations, simple explanations, and stories you can actually feel. We talk like friends, we learn like friends, and our lip sync is super accurate, so feel free to follow it while you listen.
Yes, welcome. We're happy you're here. Today we're talking about something important, something every English learner deals with, but most people never talk about openly. It's about your feelings, how you express them, how you talk about what's happening inside you, and how this can help you become a more confident English speaker.
You know, even before we start, I want to say something to the listeners. If you've ever tried to speak English and your voice got small, or your mind suddenly went blank, or you felt your chest tighten a bit, you're not alone. Millions of people feel that. It doesn't mean you're weak. It just means you care.
That was beautifully said. You're right. When learners tell me they get nervous while speaking English, or they feel like they can't express their emotions clearly, I always remind them that this channel is a safe space. We're here to help you speak naturally and to help you feel understood.
And hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. It really supports the channel, and trust me, you won't want to miss the next episodes.
Absolutely. And like the video too, you know how it helps, and we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Our favorite moment is when we read what people are going through.
All right, so let's get into it. I want to start with something simple. When we say talk about your feelings, most people think of deep emotional conversations. But honestly, it can be something very small. Even saying, I'm tired today, or I'm excited about this weekend, is already a step toward expressing what's happening inside you.
Exactly. And English learners often freeze because they think sharing feelings has to be complicated. But the truth is, small, simple words can express a lot. For example, saying, I feel overwhelmed, or I feel proud, or I feel unsure, can start a whole conversation.
Let me ask you something, Sophia. Do you remember a time when expressing your feelings in English helped you connect with someone?
Oh, yes. I remember the first time I told a friend from another country that I felt nervous speaking English with native speakers. And to my surprise, she said she felt the same when speaking my language. That moment made me realize something. We're all scared of sounding imperfect, even in our own languages.
Exactly. That's why today's title is perfect. Talking about your feelings helps you connect with people. And when you connect, your English improves faster because you stop trying to sound perfect. Instead, you sound human.
Let me ask our listeners something. How often do you actually talk about how you feel in English? Think about it honestly. Do you try to avoid emotional words because you're scared you'll say them wrong? Do you keep everything simple because you're scared people won't understand?
If your answer is yes, don't feel bad. Many people do that. But that's why you're here, and that's why this episode matters.
Speaking of which, if you're enjoying this conversation, don't forget to follow our lip sync. It's perfectly matched to the audio, so watching the mouth movements will help you learn even faster.
So let's introduce a little story. I met a student once who could talk about grammar, vocabulary, and business topics perfectly. But he couldn't say simple emotional sentences like, I feel lonely, or I feel frustrated.
Really?
Yeah, and he told me something interesting. He said he wasn't used to sharing feelings in his own language, so in English it felt almost impossible. He felt like expressing emotions made him weak.
That's a big one. A lot of people feel that. But isn't it strange that sometimes you can talk about complicated things, but the simple personal things feel the hardest?
Exactly. And that's because expressing feelings is not about language level. It's about comfort. And comfort grows when you practice small steps.
Let's give the listeners some small examples they can use. Like, you can say, I feel tired today. I feel stressed. I feel happy about this. I feel confused, or I feel calm right now.
Or even more basic, I don't feel good. I feel okay. I feel better now. These are simple sentences, but they open the door to deeper communication.
Let me add something emotional here. If you've ever felt like your English doesn't represent the real you, just know that this happens to a lot of people. You are not the only one who feels that gap between what you want to say and what you can say.
Yes, and that gap can make you feel small, but it's temporary. It disappears as you keep practicing.
Actually, let me ask you, David, have you ever felt that way when learning another language?
Absolutely. I once tried to explain to someone that I was tired and stressed after a long day, but I only knew the phrase, "I am fine." So I said, "I am fine," even though I felt terrible. And the person thought I actually felt good. And I remember thinking, wow, I can't even tell someone how I feel.
That sounds frustrating.
It was. And that's when I realized how important emotional vocabulary is.
Speaking of vocabulary, let's teach them a few phrases they can use in real-life conversations. Nothing complicated. For example, I feel left out means you feel like you are not part of something. I feel relieved means something heavy has been lifted. I feel worried means something is on your mind.
And I feel hopeful means you believe something good is coming. I feel grateful means you appreciate something. I feel motivated means you have energy to do something.
These words are simple, but they can change the way you talk.
And the more you use them, the more natural you'll sound. Trust me.
Before we go deeper, can I say something to our listeners? If you like the vibe of this episode so far, or if it's helping you reflect on your own English journey, go ahead and give the video a like. It really helps us grow.
Yes, and feel free to comment your thoughts. We love reading what you're feeling and what you're experiencing while learning English. Your comment might help someone else too.
Now, let's take a little turn. I want to talk about why expressing your feelings in English actually improves your speaking skills. The first reason is simple. When you talk about your feelings, you become more aware of your own thoughts.
And when you're aware, you speak with more clarity. You speak more honestly, and your brain stops trying to build perfect sentences. Instead, it builds real ones.
Exactly. Real conversations make real progress.
And the second reason is connection. When you express your feelings, people respond differently. They listen more. They relate to you. And that connection gives you confidence.
Let me ask our listeners again. Think about a moment when you tried to speak English with someone and you felt your body become a little tense. Maybe your throat felt tight. Maybe your mind went blank. These are feelings, and expressing them can actually help.
For example, you can say, "I'm a little nervous speaking English, but I'll try." That one sentence can change the whole conversation. People become more supportive.
Yes, and that honesty makes the conversation real, and real conversations help you improve so much faster.
By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, this is a good moment to do it. We make episodes like this every week, and we'd love to have you with us.
So let's continue. There's another reason expressing your feelings helps, because it makes you stop pretending. Many learners pretend they understand everything when they actually don't.
Oh yes, I've seen that many times.
But when you say something simple like, I feel confused or I feel lost, suddenly the other person slows down and explains things better.
All right, now let's go deeper into real-life situations. These are the moments when people usually struggle the most, and these are the moments when expressing your emotions actually helps you speak better.
Yes. Let's start with a common situation. Imagine you're in a conversation with someone and they speak really fast. You understand maybe half of it and your mind starts to panic a little. What can you say in that moment?
Many learners stay silent and pretend to understand, but that only makes things worse. Instead, you can express a simple emotion. Something like, "I feel a bit lost right now. Can you say that again?" That one sentence can save the whole conversation.
And notice how natural it sounds. It doesn't make you sound weak, it makes you sound honest. It also makes the other person slow down and speak more clearly.
Here's another situation. You're in a class or a meeting and someone asks you a question. You know the answer in your own language, but the English words don't come out. What should you do?
You can say, I feel nervous speaking right now, but I'll try. That simple sentence takes the pressure off instantly. It's like telling your brain, it's okay, we're not trying to be perfect.
Exactly. And the moment the pressure is gone, your English becomes clearer. You stop fighting with yourself. You start flowing.
I remember one student who always froze when she had to speak in front of people, but one day she said exactly that. She said, "I feel nervous, but I'll try," and everyone in the room supported her. It changed the entire energy.
And her English started improving faster after that, right?
Yes, because she learned to express the emotion, not hide it.
Let's give more examples. If someone asks how you are and you're not having the best day, you can say, "I feel tired today, but I'm here." Or, "I feel stressed, but talking helps." These small sentences make you sound real. People connect with that.
Exactly. And here's something important. When you talk about your feelings, you give yourself permission to be human. And when you're human, your English becomes natural instead of forced.
Speaking of being human, let's bring in a story. I once coached a young guy who loved English movies. He could repeat movie lines perfectly, but when he spoke to real people, he would freeze.
Why was that?
Because he was copying movie characters instead of being himself. He didn't know how to express his real feelings in English, so his speech felt empty. He once told me that every time he tried to talk, he felt a small pressure inside, like he had to perform.
That sounds exhausting.
It was, but everything changed when he learned simple emotional phrases. Things like, "I feel shy right now," or "I feel excited talking to you." He began using them slowly, and suddenly people connected with him, and his confidence grew.
That's the power of honest communication. Sometimes one simple emotional sentence opens a door.
Exactly. And to everyone listening, if you want to improve your English faster, stop trying to sound perfect. Start trying to sound real.
Can we also remind them to like the video? Because if you're here listening and you're enjoying it, you should absolutely like it. It really supports the channel and helps us reach more learners around the world.
And leave a comment too. You can even comment something simple like, "Today I feel," and finish the sentence. It's a good practice.
And if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you do that. You won't want to miss the next episodes. And remember to follow our lip sync. It's very accurate and helps you see the natural movement of each sound.
Now, let's talk about something deeper, but in a simple way. When you express your feelings in English, you reduce the mental pressure. And when the pressure drops, your brain can finally think clearly.
That's true. A lot of people think they have a vocabulary problem, but they actually have a pressure problem. Their brain is too busy trying to not make mistakes. It forgets to express what they actually feel.
Exactly. And expressing feelings helps release that pressure. If you say, "I feel slow today," it stops your brain from fighting itself.
Let's give more natural phrases. Sentences like, "I feel excited," "I feel hopeful," "I feel calm talking to you," or "I feel confused. Can you explain again?" They're simple yet powerful.
And you can use them in daily life, at school, at work, with friends, with strangers, anywhere.
I want to ask our listeners something. When was the last time you expressed a feeling in English? Not a big feeling, just a small one.
Think about that moment. Did expressing it help, or did you avoid saying it?
And how different would the moment be if you had said something like, "I feel unsure," or "I feel happy to talk with you"?
These tiny expressions help build confidence. Every time you express one feeling, your English becomes a little smoother.
Speaking of building confidence, let's talk about another important moment. When you're learning alone and you feel stuck, maybe nothing sounds right, maybe you feel slow, maybe you feel tired of repeating the same mistakes.
Everyone goes through that. Every single learner.
Yes, and in that moment, you can say to yourself in English, "I feel stuck today, but I'll keep going." Talking to yourself in English is a powerful practice.
It tells your brain that English is not an exam. It's a part of your life.
And emotional sentences connect you to the language.
Actually, let's give the listeners a small task. Right now, while listening, think of one feeling you have at this moment. Maybe you feel calm. Maybe you feel curious. Maybe you feel a bit tired.
Now say it out loud. Something like, "I feel calm right now," or "I feel focused," or "I feel relaxed listening to this."
Saying your feelings out loud helps you get comfortable with emotional vocabulary.
And it helps your English feel more natural, more personal, more connected.
Now let's talk about social conversations. For example, imagine you're meeting someone new. You can say, "I feel happy to meet you." It's simple, but it builds instant connection.
Or when you talk to a friend you haven't seen for a while, you can say, I feel grateful we're talking again. These small emotional sentences make your English sound warm.
And they help people feel close to you.
Another useful moment is when you are ending a conversation. You can say, I feel good talking with you, or I feel better now.
These are natural ways to express emotions, and they make your English sound thoughtful and human.
Speaking of thoughtful, I want to tell a small story. I once met a woman who learned English for 5 years, but she never used emotional phrases. She always spoke like she was reading from a textbook. One day, she learned to say, I feel overwhelmed. That one phrase changed the way she communicated.
Really?
Yes, because people finally understood her real feelings, and she felt heard. And after that, she began expressing more feelings, and her English started sounding alive.
That's powerful.
It is, and we want our listeners to experience the same thing, because when your English sounds alive, people listen to you differently. They feel your presence.
So let's finish with some final motivation. If you're learning English right now and you feel like progress is slow, remember this. Every time you express a feeling in English, you grow a little. Every small sentence makes a difference.
And even if some days feel heavy, you're still moving forward. You're listening, you're learning, you're improving. You're doing more than you think.
And if this episode helped you, make sure you subscribe. We want you with us on this journey.
And like the video. And yes, comment your thoughts. Tell us how you feel after listening. Your words matter here.
And follow our lip sync. It's designed to help you see the natural movement of each sound.
We're proud of you, and we're happy you're here.
Thank you for staying with us today. Keep practicing, keep expressing yourself, and keep growing.
We'll see you in the next episode.